Bethesda needs to fix its bugs. A lot of people have said this. A lot of people think that, yeah, Bethesda really should fix all those bugs that Skyrim still has, even in its god who knows how many release it has. I don't think that's a problem. I think it's a symptom of a much larger problem. Bethesda needs competition. No other company is making big, good-looking open worlds that feel alive, in which you make your own character and have your own stories. And since there's no competition, they don't have to try. If people want an experience like this, they have to come to us. So why should we try to remove all the bugs? Why do you think that every re-release of Skyrim does so well? Is it because it's the best game out there? No. But it's the best game of this type out there still. Let's say you really want that experience that you can get in Skyrim. What other game are you going to play? Let's say you have a PlayStation 4 and you want something like Skyrim. You want to have this big world in which you can be your own character and all that good stuff. What are you going to buy? At best, you can maybe buy The Witcher. Maybe. But The Witcher is not direct competition. I mean, it's a big open world, yes. And it looks good, definitely. Feeling alive, well, people have been debating that, because there are a lot of NPCs that just kind of stand in one place, all the time. But that's up for debate. But your own character and your own story? No. They don't compete with anybody. They have a monopoly in this market. No one is competing with them. And I also don't see anyone competing with them anytime soon. I mean, who's going to take on this task? Who is going to make a big open world in which you make your own character and can live out your own stories? At best, maybe CG Projekt Red. Maybe. But I really don't see a reason for them to move out of their own little corner of The Witcher, which is a good story with good characters. They're doing fine having good games with their own stories and their own characters. Why would they go to the market of a good game with unset characters and an unset story? And people love to say that, oh, but Bethesda games are only good because of the modding community. Well, yes and no. You see, I've been playing these games vanilla for quite a bit of time for my Skyrim vs Fallout 4 series. And, well, definitely Skyrim was enjoyable. I had the types of stories that I also had when I had mods. And modders are drawn to this series because these games work really well with mods. Because there aren't set characters. There aren't set stories. I mean, there are quests. And a quest can be a story in the overall story of your character. But it often is just a part of it. I have had many times where quests were just part of an even larger story. Or where a story for my character started halfway through a quest. Or ended halfway through a quest. And because a lot of this is so unset, adding a quest to the game, or adding some new armor, or all that kind of stuff, it doesn't really change the experience. It just builds on it. And the modding community is also a reason why I really don't see anybody competing with Bethesda anytime soon. Because as somebody who is in the modding community, if there's a game like Skyrim but it's not from Bethesda, yeah, I see modders going to that. But from an executive perspective, it probably is very illogical, because, well, these are all Bethesda fans. It's not that they're after a particular kind of experience or something, no, they're just Bethesda fans. I mean, it's a stupid way of thinking, but hey, people are stupid. And they have this huge modding community. We can't compete with that. Well, yes you can. If you make a good game that works really well with mods, that mods can just build upon, modders will probably go to it. But nobody is competing with Bethesda. They don't really have to try. They can just do what they always do and make a ton of money. Although at this point, I kind of hope that they realize this, because Fallout 4 was actually not in this monopoly they have. Fallout 4 pretty much had a set character. You could change his appearance, or her appearance, but it was always the same voice, it was always the same bland character, and there was always the same arc. I hope that Bethesda realized that they are the masters of big good looking open world games which feel alive, in which you make your own character and your own story. At this point, I just hope that they really go back to that with Task 6 and don't try to do The Witcher again. Because we have seen how that goes with Fallout 4. People are very disappointed in Bethesda because this isn't the type of games that they expect from Bethesda or really want from Bethesda. And while it was definitely a good game, it didn't really compete with the competition. Bethesda's games are bug-riddled because they don't have to compete. Let's hope they realize it, so they can keep making those games so that niche is at least filled. It might not be perfect, because they don't really have to try, but I prefer that niche to be filled instead of just nothing and Bethesda making games and competing with companies that they really probably don't stand a chance competing with. So yeah, conclusion of this overly long video that's hopefully not 10 minutes as it is thrown right here. Bethesda doesn't need to fix their bugs. They need some bloody competition.